and I've got to get cracking on my writing, because I really want to kind of get to a certain point in the new book, which is vampire fiction. Not typical vampire fiction, okay? Very different. It's more kind of on the psychological side of it. Like, I'll give you a quick rundown. Here's the book cover. Hope that worked if I spliced it in properly. That's the book cover. Jenna Hale, that's her name, the main character, Jenna Hale. I like that name, it's good. It's a good name. So, Jenna is... I'm not going to tell you why the book is called what it's called. I'm not going to tell you the reason for the title, because the reason for the title will come later on. So let me give you a quick kind of synopsis type of thing. Jenna is 24 years old. That may possibly change, but she's going to stay around that kind of age. Okay? She's going to be like early 20s, mid 20s. When she was in her late teens, she witnessed something terrible. It was like I don't even know what to call it actually. Somebody does something terrible, and like an act of violence, and quite a few people, because of this act of violence, quite a few people are killed and injured as well, and she's there to witness it. But she loses her parents in the act of violence when she's 18. So she's already like diagnosed as suffering from severe like anxiety, social anxieties and things like that, at the age of 18. So she's already kind of suffering with those kind of issues. And those things aren't, I mean, I've actually realised that I put those things in my book a lot. So Jenna goes through this horrific kind of event in her life, loses her parents, and we kind of hear about that in a kind of flashback kind of situation. And then she gets to the age, like I say, she's about 24, and she is still the same, but obviously she's also had to deal with like 6 years of grief, solitude, and think of every single emotion that would go with something like that, and she's had to deal with like 6 years of it. She is very reclusive. She's very she's still kind of socially doesn't enjoy anything like that, any kind of social kind of thing. She's got a very small kind of group of friends. I've only just started to get into that side of things with the book, so that could always change, but I think she will surround herself with some close type friends or people she trusts and feels safe around, because that's kind of important in these situations. So I do think she'll have that. And she just carries on day-to-day life, etc. She is fortunate enough that, of course, she had no idea, but when she was growing up, her parents were kind of sorting out all the insurance policies and the, like life insurance policies, and sorting out the mortgage and sorting out all these other things. So, in the event of their death, which of course they would have expected to happen years in the future, Jenna would have been cared for financially and this kind of thing. So Jenna's kind of in a situation where she's got money coming in, she has money that's been left to her in the will, and she has a place to live, again, set out, by her parents. So she's got a place to live, and she's got some money coming in, and she just kind of gets on with her day-to-day life. But obviously she's chronically alone, and she's obviously with her anxiety and struggling with her anxiety, and obviously the grief that just kind of never goes away because her parents were taken away from her so young. That's how she lives. And there's lots of things kind of, she's moulded her life, again a kind of reflection on some of my own actions in the past, but she's moulded her life so that she never puts herself in any kind of situations. So, she doesn't travel very far, she doesn't put herself into any places she doesn't feel comfortable or new or anything like this. It's all it's her own little bubble, her own little safe world, and that's where she wants to stay. But then, of course, like I said, this is vampire fiction. So something is going to happen. I'm not sure when, but it's going to happen soonish in the book. And she doesn't realise, it's not like what's not going to happen. I can tell you what's not going to happen is she's not going to meet a vampire and then be turned however that would happen. That's not going to happen. That's not how this one works. She's going to find herself in a strange kind of situation where can I say that yet? I think I can say that, yeah. Okay, so at the moment, she's going to witness a fight or altercation or something, or she's going to think she witnesses it, because we're talking vampires here, so this all happens very fast in like the blink of an eye. You've got to remember that. But something's going to happen like that. I'm still not sure the absolute details of it. But something like that's going to happen. And in this situation, both the vampires who are fighting are going to die. They're going to kill each other. And something will happen at that point, which involves Jenna. And then we're going to go into a stretch of the book where the change starts to happen. And this isn't going to be like she goes to sleep, she wakes up in the morning, she's a vampire. Or should I say she goes to sleep in the day and wakes up at night, because vampire. You get what I'm saying. But then we're going to go into the process of the change, and this is the bit that I'm really interested in working on, because this is where I'm going to kind of, like I say, go into the psychological kind of, I say psychological, but I'm going to put a lot of kind of thing, work into that kind of area of it, you know. So we're going to see the change, but the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to put my own spin on that, and how that kind of affects her, and everything that's happening, and you know how she was, and then what she's becoming, etc. And obviously, then at some point, she's obviously going to realise what's happened, you know, accept this, and then we carry on with the story from there. So I'm really looking forward to this, because I mean, I enjoy vampire films and books and everything like that. Dracula's one of my favourite books of like forever, really forever. And the Dracula movie came out in the 90s. Was it the 90s? Gary Oldman, you know, Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, etc. That's one of my favourites as well. I love that one. I've actually recorded it off the TV the other night. It was on TV, so I recorded it on my television so that I can watch it whenever, because I love that version of the film. I really do. And like I said, it's one of my favourite books. But and I've read a lot of vampire books in the last year or so, because I've been kind of tinkering with this for a while now, but other things just get in the way. I haven't been able to just sit down and just plough into it. Plus I stopped and wrote my on my way home while Angus sleeps. I actually just stopped and just churned that out really quickly. Well, not really quickly. It still took me like, you know, 8-9 months or whatever, but it's kind of strange, because when the story hits, sometimes I just have to stop and just go with whatever story hits, and that kind of happened. But yeah, I mean, like, I love the Twilight books. I did love the Twilight books. You heard it here first. I love the Twilight books, and I've reread them now, so I've probably read them about 3 times now each. Like I say, Dracula's one of my favourites. I think I reread Salem's Lot. You know, I've picked and kind of, but not just vampire fiction as well. I mean, any kind of book, you know, lots of Poe and Rebecca, Daphne du Maurier, that kind of thing. You know, it's more to do with atmosphere. You know what I mean? It's kind of the atmosphere you set. So I've kind of gone into quite a few different kind of books. I've not necessarily sat down and read the whole book, but I've, you know, gone right. You know, I've kind of got the sense of atmosphere from certain books, and then I've thought, okay, I'll move on to that one now, like I say. So that's where I'm going to focus my kind of story, on that kind of thing. And I mean, it will, you know, obviously there's going to be action, and there's going to be vampires, and there's going to be blood, and there's going to be all this other stuff, and you know, the usual kind of thing you see from vampire fiction. But like I say, it's going to be my own little spin on it all. And I'm just really, really excited for it. You know, the cover I showed you earlier on, I didn't have to do hardly any work on that whatsoever. A friend of mine, um, she's a writer and a photographer and everything else, and she had quite a lot of photographs that she'd taken, which you could buy as like stock images for book covers, or you know, whatever you wanted to use them for, really. And I was kind of flicking through some of her work, and I just thought to myself, oh yeah, that's it, definitely, that's what I need. You know, the full portrait. Full portrait. I kind of just, you know, immediately thought to myself, that's Jenna, that's perfect. I say I didn't really have to do hardly any work on it at all. I've, you know, stuck some red eyes, and you know, I've kind of set the mood. But I'm going to let that book cover just stay there and, you know, do its job. I think, because that's just amazing. I love that. So I'm really looking forward to it all. Right, what are we at now? 22 minutes. Okay, I'll wrap up now because I tend to go on with these videos. Yeah, so let's. I won't say a time frame, but let's say what we're in now. November, December, March, April, possibly. Let's just aim for that. See how we go. March, April for that one. And if I can get up some chapters and things to check, I will. We'll get some. We'll get some sample stuff up. We'll get some. You know, I'll keep checking in, letting everybody know how it's going. Alright, I decided to split the videos, guys, so just coming to add a quick ending to the first bit. Alright, see you soon.